Hey guys, so I'm gonna go see a guy named Steve. He's a water treatment specialist, and I'm gonna go ask him a couple of questions. I'm gonna interview him on what water we should take. What's the best water for us, pretty much. I have my microphone here and my little stand here. I used to do interviews before I joined the military for a living. Interviewed the Prime Minister, the Queen twice, hockey players. No, I'm just joking. I actually never did that before, but I'm sure it's not that hard. So we'll see how it goes. I have my questions. I have my camera. Well, actually, the camera is the phone. I have a microphone, a couple of bottles of water that we're going to test for you guys, and see how that goes.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. The life I love is making music with my friends, and I can't wait to get on the road again.
Okay guys, so I'm now at Steve's house, so I'm gonna go do my interview. So I can't just go in there without making anything funny. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretend that I feel more comfortable by holding a bottle of water as a microphone, which is completely ridiculous because it doesn't make me more comfortable, but he doesn't know that. I never met the guy before, so I think it's gonna be really awkward and funny. Let's try that.
Okay, so we're recording now?
Yeah.
We are, okay. So we're testing the sound. We're talking about water quality.
Do you mind if like I feel more comfortable if I use a bottle as a microphone? Do you like if I do it like this? Is it good with you? Like
For testing?
no, just like for the interview.
I'm
just joking.
Are you joking? Okay. Dry sense of humor. I was trying to get that. Yeah. So I do mind.
Okay, hi guys. So we're here with Steve in his beautiful home here. And Steve, can you introduce yourself, please, and tell what's your background?
I'm Steve Hodgins with Culligan Water of Pembroke. We have offices in Ottawa and Brockville and other places. I've been with Culligan for 10 years and associated with Culligan for about 20 years. I'm a water technologist. I'm in the field. I test water. I give recommendations to homeowners, to businesses. Water is Culligan's business.
Okay, yeah. So if all the water is not the same, is it all safe to drink?
No, it's not. Water is H2O, but whatever's in that water may be harmful. Microbiological contamination, meaning E. coli and coliform, are found in water. In Ontario, they test for microbiological contamination. So all water's not the same. You can have terrible tasting water that's safe to drink, and you could have great tasting water that's unsafe to drink.
Okay, just another thing I'm thinking. Is it worse in our days than like 50 years ago, or?
In terms of contamination, microbiological, no, but in terms of what's in water, yes. One example, and there are many of them, 100 years ago there was very little nitrate in water found in farm fertilizer. Today, the entire world, the aquifers, are polluted with nitrates from fertilizer being used throughout the world.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the next question is, why do some brand of bottled water taste so different from other bottled water?
Probably the best question you're going to ask, because bottled water obviously is H2O, hydrogen and oxygen, but what do the companies put in the water? Some water has absolutely nothing in it, reverse osmosis water, where other waters the companies load it with sodium or calcium or something else in it to make it taste a certain way.
Oh, really?
Yes, the best water on the market would be reverse osmosis water. Nothing in it at all, pure H2O.
So they put salt. So when we see salt on it, like I know a couple of them, there's sodium in it. That's for the taste.
That's for the taste. In my opinion, I think it's loaded with sodium so you drink more. You're not hydrated as well. Salt makes you thirstier. You drink more water. But most people like the taste of salt. That's why we see salt shakers on the table.
Yeah.
And people do like the taste of calcium. One quick story is most times when I talk to people about their well water, They will say, oh, my well water tastes great raw. It's perfect. I'll test it. It'll be extremely high in calcium. But for some reason, humans like the taste of that inorganic material calcium, so they believe their water is of great quality. Reasons. I am going to tell you a real quick story that you may or may not want to use.
Yeah.
We're standing here, the beautiful Ottawa River's out there. In the summertime, I have a lot of kids around here with my kids. There's a little fellow about 5 years ago came up to the door, came in, he knew me, said, hi Steve, I'm coming in for a drink of water. He came in, went over to my fridge here, clink, 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 drank the water down, big smile on his face. I said, Jacob, how come you come here for the water? He said, oh, I'll tell you why. When I come here and I drink water, I go out and I swim, and I can swim for an hour and I'm not thirsty. I said, oh, what happens in other circumstances? Oh, we're from Toronto and my dad always comes up here. We just have a cottage, brings a case of water. And if I drink water up there, I come down and go swimming. It's not 10 minutes. I have to go back up and drink more water. I'm thirsty. Now, this was a kid that had nothing to do with water or anything, but out of the mouth of babes was the truth. He was drinking sodium-based water, this brand in particular.
Yeah.
He could only come down and swim for about 10 minutes and he was thirsty. He was coming up here. He knew it in his own head because he's been in here so many times. Gets the glass, has the ice, drinks it down, goes out, swims for an hour, feels good. Drinks the stuff his dad brings in the bottles, loaded with sodium. It dehydrates him. So, I mean, that right there is the evidence that you don't want sodium in your water, and you don't want the other things that are in it that are detrimental to your body.
If I look at the bottle, like the ingredients, everything's pretty much always at zero except sodium and calcium. I guess we can see the difference.
It depends. This is a great example here. You'll get all kinds of Ca97, Ci92, sodium 47. By law, I believe in Canada, companies have to list the ingredients of the water. So they have this water tested in a laboratory and it gives them the whole rundown of what's in the water. Let's suffice it to say this. The most expensive water on the market, generally speaking, is the water that has absolutely nothing in it. This is a great example right here.
Really?
Coca-Cola's product, Desante,
Yeah.
reverse osmosis, 0.0000 hydrogen and oxygen.
Okay. So this bottle here is what you want to buy if you have to buy a bottle of water.
Correct. If any product that's reverse osmosis that has nothing in it, and I'll explain that a little further, not totally in depth, but one of the myths about drinking water is that mineral in water is good for you. Mineral in water is inorganic. It's dead mineral. Your body does not require that. If your body requires iron or calcium, you're going to get that from milk, vegetables, meat. That's organically based minerals. The minerals found in your well water or in some water here, like sodium, dead mineral. Your body does not require it. My meter measures, when I put it in water and turn it on, measures all the inorganic material in the water. Everything that's inorganic. It can be anything from calcium, magnesium, manganese, gasoline, benzene, arsenic, nitrates. This gives parts per million reading, ppm of what's in the water.
Okay, and the higher the number...
Higher the number, the more inorganics in the water. I have well water that runs anywhere from 20 ppm up to, I've seen 10,000. 10,000, loaded with sodium, natural sodium deposits. But the thing to remember when buying bottled water or using water, the lower the number, the better quality the water is.
Okay.
I'm going to use this one as an example. So the first thing I look at here on this one is, Jeremy, what it says here. What is the total content? And we're seeing here 552 parts per million.
Yeah.
So right away I know that's an elevated, totally dissolved solid level. What's in it? The label tells me. I can look up the sodium level. Anything really over 100 is going to have something in it if it's bottled, and generally it's going to be sodium. It might be calcium, it might be a few other things, but that's the first thing I look at is what's the total parts per million dissolved solids. Not the breakdown of everything, just that one number. That one was 200 and something parts per million. This one I had at 5 something. We'll just do a quick demonstration here.
Okay, we're already in the demo.
Yeah, pouring in a glass.
Okay.
Taking my TDS meter, starting at 0, sticking it in the water, and here we see 467. Now, this little TDS meter isn't extremely accurate, but it's accurate enough for water testing.
So you said 467.
And they had 552 parts per million.
Okay.
Temperature affects dissolved solids.
Yeah.
The quality of the meter. This is a rough reading. The one you want to see is, and even something in the glass will pick up a dissolved solid. So if the glass has any residue on it, so this is Desante, 0. I'm just going to clean the meter off a little bit. We'll stick it in the Desante water, and what do you read?
30.
Yeah, that's picking, well, down to 28. We'll try the Culligan water, that again is reverse osmosis.
This one should test 0?
It should test at 0. It's reverse osmosis water.
Oh, okay. Well, it says 35 on the bottle.
Okay, they may have added something there, fluoride. Total parts from, yeah, you're right, dissolved solids 35, so I'm wrong. Now, reverse osmosis water, the Culligan water I've just tested here.
Yep.
What does it read, Jeremy?
200. No, I'm joking. 4.
You're joking, yes. Yeah, 4. So now it's down to 2. So essentially nothing. It's only picking up the residue.
Can we buy it? We can buy that.
Yes, you can. You have the Culligan store, but generally putting in a reverse osmosis system is what we recommend you do.
Yeah.
We use this for promotion. So I've learned something today. I thought Desante water was 0, but it is 35.
See, we all learned something.
Absolutely.
So we're not going to open all of them, but bottom line, the lower the number of ppm, the better water.
The lower the ppm, the lower the totally dissolved solid ppm, the better quality water. Okay. Distilled water would be 0. Yeah. Because distilled water is vapor, that's cooled down, everything's gone. Yeah. Reverse osmosis water is run through a reverse osmosis system. Everything that is over, I think it's 0.0004 of a part per million is expelled to drain. What gets through is hydrogen and oxygen. That's the best water you can drink.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a question. I don't know if you know the answer, maybe not. I heard that before. That bottled water is not just the water itself, but the plastic. Did you hear that?
Sure. There was a lot of concern 10, 15, 20 years ago about BPA, plastics leaching some sort of chemical into the water. If you look it up online, BPA is banned. All these bottles of water here, including our large Culligan bottles that we make in Brockville, BPA free. So there's no more of that. They're tested very meticulously for BPA. The plastics today do not leach anything into the water. So regardless of the quality of your water, you can be sure, based on government testing, there's no BPA found in any of these bottles.
Okay, so it's not a myth. It used to be like that?
Oh, absolutely.
But not anymore.
Not that long ago. 10 years ago, there was still BPA being put into plastic.
So that you were right, but 10 years ago. So what would you recommend to people that are on city water, or what's the option? City water and well?
City water and well water. City water is chlorinated. It's a necessary evil. You have to chlorinate city water in order to kill any bacteria. Chlorine.
Can you elaborate on that? Because that's another big thing I hear a lot, right? Is there's chlorine in the water, it's horrible. You know what I mean? Like chlorine is bad. Like you put it in your pool, so why would you put it in your water to drink? But
chlorine is bad, but it's a necessary evil.
Yeah.
If you didn't chlorinate city water, the chances of bacteria forming in that water, because we're talking about large volumes of water being supplied to many, many people, businesses, houses, whatever, you would end up with contaminated water. So chlorine is put in municipal sources to kill any bacteria. Unfortunately, if you look on Health Canada's website, chlorine is a nasty chemical that should not be ingested. Many cities go around, including the city of Ottawa, saying their water is wonderful, it's great to drink. They even have a water wagon that drives around Ottawa. It may be half decent water. The chlorine in it, to me, rules it out as decent drinking water.
Yeah. So so people that are on city water, is there a way around it for them?
Sure. Yeah. Solution is reverse osmosis drinking water system.
Do you have that?
I have one right here. we're on well, we're not on city water. This is my reverse osmosis tap. My refrigerator has the reverse osmosis line running to it. My systems in the basement run a line up to it. The other way of getting rid of chlorine is a large carbon filter.
Okay.
Because when you run water through carbon, it will pick up the chlorine, remove the chlorine from the water.
Okay. And so which one's the best price? Which one?
Well, reverse osmosis gives you the best quality drinking water because it not only removes chlorine, it removes everything, lead, arsenic. It's trying to get water down to pure H2O. Okay. Whereas a carbon filter will buffer the water, make it taste crisp, make it taste better, remove chlorine and maybe a couple of other things. But essentially what's coming through is still all the inorganics in the water.
Okay, so and it's what's the price range about? I think it's $1,000.
About $1,000 depending on what you're hooking up. If it's your fridge, the drilling of a quartz countertop like this. There are a few factors. I would say anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 is the price of a reverse osmosis system. A Culligan reverse osmosis system, lifetime warranty. The one at my home is 38 years old, still under warranty. Filter and membrane changes are periodic, 3, 4, 5 years. The overall cost of having reverse osmosis in your home is literally pennies a day.
And it's obviously to get a better, a healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely,
It's far, right?
Yeah,
like, that makes sense. I guess we're not educated enough on what water to drink, right? Like I wasn't, anyways. But because I started this website, trying to get people a better, a healthy lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Julie and I, we were drinking bottles one day, and my dad came over to my place and said, "Did you know that bottled water is not that good?" I was like, "What do you mean? Like it's like everybody else?" I was like, "Well, it's they sell it, it's on the market. It has to be good." But then we looked into it. Then we had you come over, and then I realized, okay, maybe no, I think it's money well invested. To put a system like this.
I mean, if you didn't have water, you couldn't live. And so many people I talk to will say, I don't drink that much water. Well, you're getting water in all forms. I mean, even when we're washing vegetables, water's in use. So the better quality water at a reasonable price, why wouldn't you do it? Yeah. Why wouldn't you do it?
Well, that's good. Do you have a final word for us, Steve?
My final word would be invest in a Culligan reverse osmosis system. Absolutely. Or buy Culligan bottled water. We sell it in large jugs. We deliver to homes. I'm not trying to sales pitch only Culligan. Yeah. I do believe that people drinking, inferior quality water without knowing it are harming themselves. And it's very easy to see, as you just pointed out, Jeremy. By law, it's on the label. Look at the dissolved solid level.
Yeah.
Drink stuff that's reverse osmosis or distilled.
So bottom line, if you want to know if the water is good, you look in the back. If it's zero everywhere, then that's a good sign. And then you look at the ppm, right?
Yeah. Look at the totally dissolved solids level, because the printing is very, very small on these. This may be the last thing I'll make a point of. They do it on purpose. It is very, very small. Some of it's misleading because you can look at a label and you'll see, 0,000. That must be good. Fats 0. That's great. Triglycerides 0. Oh, this must be great water. Yeah. But then you turn it and say 522 parts per million, and you look a little closer. The very, very fine print, they start telling you what's in it. So the key is parts per million, totally dissolved solids. That one number. Okay. Keep it low. Much better water for you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Steve.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Yeah, appreciate it.
And I'm a little disappointed that you didn't want me to use my microphone.
Yes, true.
But we'll work around that.
Okay, good.